How we doing, everybody?
Hello, everyone.
Nobody watched the playback. Continue just from this moment here, because, yeah, it's been a day. Well,
we'll just start. I'll start off by thanking everyone. And shout out to our local boys, the 204 Comics guys. They were scrambling there today when I popped in. A lot of Marvel stuff wasn't showing up as usual, or not as usual, but stuff's always not showing up as usual, whether it's late or
and it seemed to be pretty widespread. All the guys over at CapCan, they were rushing like crazy yesterday to get it out. And
yeah, I saw a couple of review shows as well that I watched while I reviewed my books.
They almost had 9,000 or 10,000 books sold.
I know.
That's how crazy their week has been.
It's been crazy everywhere. It's we got the Big Country guys. We want to thank them. We've been mentioning all their books lately, and two of the books that they have exclusives for have come out this week. The Red Ronin one, or Radiant Red, I should say.
Red.
Yeah, Red Ronin.
Red
That's
Ronin.
an old like Voltron robot type of thing. That one, and then the Conan one, and the Conan one that we're gonna actually review on here today, because
Sumerian.
I love Conan stuff, and this one is like uncensored Conan stuff because it's not Marvelized.
It's like old, like Savage Conan magazine.
Well, even more than that. Well, yeah, even more than that, because it was still censored there a little bit, but yeah, more along that line, true to the stories. And Things Are Getting Sketchy group, they're still going weekly. They have the Muppet mashup this week. It's Muppet and 80s action hero movies type of thing, so that'll be interesting to see.
I've seen a few little hints and stuff there. I think there's some Indiana Jones going in there.
I saw that. I'm sure there'll be some Die Hard.
Yeah.
There'll be
Rambo.
Yeah, there'll be some like Lost Boys.
I see some Lost Boys.
I could see like Lethal Weapon have two Muppets there, saying I'm too old for this shit, So
yeah,
I shouldn't say stuff. Maybe I might want to save those for myself. But yeah, that's on Saturday. We threw up a trailer earlier this evening for that. But let's jump right into the books because there's a lot.
Yeah. So first up from Marvel, we got Captain Carter, who everyone at this point knows who she is now. She got a really big break during the What If series.
Yeah.
One of the better episodes in that series as well.
Sure.
I didn't get a chance to read this one, but it did seem like it was picking up relatively close after, or at least tied into it some degree, where they left her off, and that was her own version of the Winter Soldier.
Yeah, and that's exactly what it is here. It's
Hey there, Jay.
You have Jamie McKelvey doing the writing on here, and then you have Mark Krasta doing the art. And I really like the art in here. It's really sharp, and I'm not sure if that's him in the cover or not, because I had a different cover than one I read. But very much similar. No, just sharp, detailed lines, kind of like the old Ultimate stories.
Yeah.
So I like that. And it does pick up after the What If series, at the end, or not after the What If series, but in her timeline, she dies, saving the world from the bomb or the missile head in the at the end of the World War II. She's the one that gets frozen in the ice, and now she gets.
Well, in What If, she was in a weird time portal with like the octopus creature.
Yeah, I know that, but I'm just saying in here, like in this timeline, which is the same thing, is that's she. Instead of Captain America dying, she dies in that situation. So they've found her now. They brought her back out and de-thawed her, or unthawed her, because de-thawed her means freezing again when you break it down. So that's kind of cool. She's brought back to nowadays, and now she's going to do more secret agent stuff. So the story's just starting off. Had a nice. I liked it. I thought it was going to be like a rehashing of just the that What If series, but it meant you can see the references in there, but it's a new story in that, and just original enough to make you want to read it, but it's still not still kind of like a Captain America.
Marvel dropped a shitload of stuff this week. Like, this is one of Marvel's biggest weeks they've had in quite a while. They've had this. They had the Gwenverse, the Punisher, which we have coming up. Like, tons of stuff. And
I'm going to go.
Sounds like we have a visitor
I'll
up there.
go. Hold on a second.
Careful. So there are tons and tons of Marvel stuff this week. So we had to really narrow it down. Don't have really any DC. We have one book pulled that we're just not really going to go over too much about, but we'll talk about it because it's the final one in that series. But yeah, next up we've got Punisher, the new Punisher series. Lots of people have been waiting for this one, and it was a little bit
controversial.
Controversial.
Well, not the book itself, but what comes out of this book, and which is a new Punisher
a totally new era of Punisher. Like, himself is changing.
From what they've been saying for like the last little while, with all like the hype about this book, you know, the logo's changing, and they've been talking about that for years because they don't want it's too like
radical.
Not too radical. It's associated too much with negative stuff nowadays. So Marvel doesn't want to have that anymore.
Who would have thought a guy that goes around killing people would be associated with that stuff?
Just the logo itself, it gets used all the time for different things, and things that are not always, you know, what you want to have associated with your brand. So, but I don't know if that's going to be a permanent change. Because what this story is Frank Castle's working with and for the Hand, the Ninja Clan now. And you find out why at the end of the story, because when you're reading it, you don't really know why would he work with them, you know, but he's doing like he's like their master assassin now, and he works for them and does missions and all that, and you find out why at the end, and it kind of makes sense why he would do it for them and how they get him to, you know, cooperate. But I think it's, once this story arc ends, or this little story issue, miniseries, whatever ends, it'll probably go back to the old Punisher
it's a neat looking little logo, like a little Oni's mask.
It's samurai influence because he's with the Hand now.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
No.
I do think it's a bit of a strange turn for him to be working with the Hand, and just like with that culture in general. With Japanese stuff, we usually assume is, you know, Wolverine or Elektra. So Punisher is a different take, and I'm all for it.
They go after him because he's like Wolverine and Elektra. He's the, you know,
the best he is at what he does.
Yeah, exactly. And they test him and all that, and he ends up working for them because of a reward. And I don't want to say what the reward is because it makes sense to everybody who knows what the Punisher story is, why he would like this reward. But at the same time,
are they going to bring back his family?
It's also a nice little surprise at the end when you see it actually happen. So. I'm not gonna say, but you know, the Hand does, you know, deal with bringing back the dead in that sometimes. So,
and this is a limited series, right? I don't think it's limited, but I don't think it's an ongoing. I think it's
yeah. I thought it was just a one shot actually, and then when I was reading it today, I think it said it's actually a 2 or 3 part series, but I could be wrong.
I think it was like one of those black,
it's not
white
black.
and blood ones. Like it was like, you know, 5 issues.
Yeah,
or something.
It's a main series, and it's written by Jason Aaron and Jesus Saiz and Paul Azqueta. And it's all excellent artwork, and the story is really good. It's it almost like Garth Ennis type of story, you know, very very graphic and realistic and brutal. And I thought it might be like one of those Marvel darker books, like the prestige ones they have nowadays, but it wasn't. But I mean, it's definitely 18 plus.
Yeah, and it's nice to see Marvel's not shying away from this character.
But they're shying away from this character because they changed the logo.
Yes, they changed the logo, but he's still the Punisher. And keeping up with our very, you know, gruesome looking covers here, Devil's Reign 5
of 6. There's still one more. I'm still enjoying this series quite a bit. Yeah,
it's looking good. They have Miles on the front here, and I wanted to point out, on the inside, all these have ads for the next big arc that Miles is going to go through.
He's going into some like weird dimension.
He's taking off that stupid ass hoodie, and he's got an actual good outfit under there.
Yeah.
Why has he been wearing that stupid hoodie?
I don't. Well, in the story there was a reason. I don't know if in the from that solicitation I saw too, if it's the original Spider-Man, like the original Miles suit, or if it's another version.
It looks a little bit different. It's like a 2.0 type deal. But yeah, I saw that, and it just. Instantly, that's what was going across my mind.
You got Chip Zdarsky.
I hate that sweater.
Yeah, Chip Zdarsky and Marco Cicchetto still doing the art and the story here. And we found out at the end of last episode that the Kingpin, through the Purple Man's powers and the Purple Kid's powers, he was able to get his memories back. He remembers that Daredevil is now Matt Murdock. So now he doesn't even care about the election anymore. He's using every little resource he has, sending everybody out there to do what they can, including all of New York under control of the Purple Man, to get the heroes and to kill Matt Murdock. And he kind of does do that, but not the Matt Murdock he thinks it is. He ends up, killing Mike Murdock, which is like kind of like Matt Murdock. It's his brother, but it's like the magic thing.
His evil twin brother, who's not evil now.
Yeah, he's all over the place. He's
the evil one is in the Spider-Gwen universe.
He's like a hustler type of thing. He's like a con man type of thing. So it's very, very cool. One more issue to go. I realized today that because we had so many other books and we didn't read it, but it's awesome. I've heard it's the Moon Knight tie-in for this is great. That came out this week.
I did see that. Yeah,
and
beautiful cover.
Yeah, awesome cover. I love it. And also, I just remembered too that we were gonna tie in last week's Spider-Man to this, and I just forgot too. So that Spider-Man ties in more to this because it has the Rose in there, and the new Kingpin, which is like the guy who took over for Wilson Fisk, and that's all part of the Spider-Man storyline because the Rose is the son, and this guy's the son of the Kingpin.
I hadn't seen the Rose in a very long time.
It's a different Rose than the original Rose. The original Rose was a king, or maybe they've retconned it. I wasn't really too sure when I saw that. Oh, I forgot. Sorry. Yeah. And there's one DC book that is just the cool cover. I bought it as well too.
Yeah, I took a quick flip through it. Here we are. It's the final issue of the Batman ScoobyDoo Mysteries series. It's been a pretty decent series. I've enjoyed the whole thing. It's nothing serious. Like it's goofy fun stuff.
Yeah.
And this one is just like a big, almost like an annual would be. Like it's just.
Well, it's number 12.
It's 12. The whole Bat family, all of Batman's rogues, they're all there.
It's giant-sized Batman family.
Yeah, and it was a pretty good series. Yeah. I don't know if they'll do a volume 2 to it. I think it was done pretty well, and I think the last half of it, probably the last 6 issues or so, I don't think were received quite as well. I think the hype sort of died off.
It's probably too long. It would have been better breaking up into 2 6s probably. Because I don't even think it's not like that's the first time Batman and them have teamed up with them. No. He's done there's been other volumes, and there's been are called different things, or even in the ScoobyDoo. Is it called Scooby-Doo Team Up or something like that?
Yeah, there is the Scooby-Doo Team Up at one point. Like that.
Yeah. So it still goes on monthly. So.
It was a good series, and probably about time it went for a little bit.
Yeah. But I like those covers when they have those cartoon versions of especially of the female Bat characters.
Lots of the characters on the inside, when I was looking through it, look like the animated 90s, cool. Paul Dini, Tim, what's his name? Bruce Timm styles.
Oh yeah.
I have to scroll all the way back down here. There we are. Next up.
Oh, this is all you.
Yeah. Solo. Actually, Han Solo and Chewbacca. This one's largely just Chewbacca. I did read through the other Star Wars books.
Did you see that?
Oh, perfect.
Adam would just let us know he was the one that won Hugh's Batman Last Ronin sketch cover, and he just let us know it arrived in the mail safe and sound. That's good to know. I was going to message you, and I just got away from it today because every day is a busy day nowadays, it seems like.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good to hear.
Well, speaking of that real fast, we've shown you guys that we've got some autographed and signed stuff in the last few weeks, Chicken Devils, Swamp Dogs, and that. I got word from Maria Wolf yesterday, or Tuesday, maybe even Monday, that she got the books and she signed them and she sent them back out in the mail yesterday. So we'll be getting those in, and we'll definitely we'll draw one off for those. Because there was 3 copies in there. And I don't know if anybody else saw it. I know we posted it, but she got a Spider-Man punk, a Spider-Punk cover. She has one of those.
It looks great. It fit her style very nicely.
Yeah.
I hate Spider-Punk.
I know, but that was cool too. But let's continue on.
Yeah. So I did read the Crimson Reign for this, whatever, I think it was 5 or
lots
something.
Of rain.
4. There is lots of rain.
Like in that Batman movie.
Yeah. So yeah, the Crimson Reign one was good. Person tracking down Yoda finds Yoda, doesn't tell people where Yoda is. That's the whole story. Nothing too exciting. This one I thought was quite a bit better. It actually reminded me of that old Han Solo Adventures book that you had. Just like Han Solo doing random.
Oh, that novel?
Novel, yeah.
Yeah, those were good stories. It's like Adventures of Han Solo and that.
Yeah, at first I couldn't quite place when this was, whether it was after the Solo movie or if it was in current timeline, Han Solo doing his own whatever, like where the comics are, not now. Mm-hmm. But it's after Solo, before Episode 4, and before he's done anything to piss off Jabba, because he's given him a job to, I guess it's some crime rival's ashes he wants him to steal and bring back. And so, yeah, Han Solo, Chewbacca just doing some little shenanigans, planning a heist. They got Greedo with them, and he gets in, he finds out that, oh, well, it's behind this crazy vault. I can't get in there. I'm going to go to the bar and figure some stuff out. And Chewbacca and Greedo leave, and he bumps into this older guy who works for this person that he's trying to steal from. And it turns out that this guy might be Han Solo's father.
Oh.
Yeah. And which is, you kind of see coming, because Han Solo mentions his dad a lot once they get to his home planet there on Corellia. So that was kind of seen coming, but I didn't know that they were going to actually float say it. But we don't know. It could just be that the guy's trying to get a one-up on him and hustle him, because that's what every Han Solo story has, is, you know, people trying to one-up each other. But I mean, it's interesting. It's definitely going to be a good series going forward, I think.
Cool. How many issues, you know?
I think it's 5. I think it's 5. Same with that ObiWan one.
Yeah.
I think they're supposed to be.
Lots of people like to figure stuff out at the bar.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's kind of the quick recap of it. Nothing too huge happens.
No, the big Star Wars news comes later on.
Yeah. So now we'll move along here.
This is good.
I like some of the covers for it,
yeah,
but
we'll
you know how I feel about these, and that is
and that's
anything from Dynamite, and that's Betty Page.
Yeah, I always like reading these Betty Page books, much like the Elvira ones. They're kind of tongue in cheek, because they're they're campy. They're not supposed to be taken serious. They're like goofball. They're always put in like secret mission situations, so they're funny. So I like that too, and I like the sexy covers too. And Elvira and Betty Page are just like iconic people that I've always grown up with and liked. Whereas the Vampira and the Red Sonjas and stuff like that, they're sexy and they're like adventure stories, so they're more true comic book like. Where these are more
I don't know what Betty Page anything is about. Betty Page was a real person. I don't know how she has a comic book.
No, that's saying it's just the same with like the Elvira. It's just like, or the Three Stooges or whatever like that. It's just a character in a book itself. So what's going on here is she's been she's back from her last kind of mission. She's resting, and then she gets approached by the government again to go help out with they found with the whole Roswell thing. So that goes on there. She gets a team. It's a young archaeologist and a young code breaker, and they're gonna go solve these riddles with these Roswell people. So that was kind of funny. But the reason I brought it up, and it is a good story, and artwork is awesome inside. But the reason
a bit of a scandal.
Yeah, a bit of the reason I brought it up is because when they have these Betty Page ones, they always have black bag edition ones, which is like Betty Page from her doing her centerfold stuff. So there's always nudie ones that come out that are original stock photos from the old days.
I think they're called burlesque.
Yeah, well, they were called pinup girls, burlesque.
Burlesque covers. That's what we should start calling them. We need to add some class to this.
No, some of them are called that on the FOC and that. So then, so yeah, black bag ones. So what happened this week was someone screwed up, and when they sent them out, they didn't put black bag versions on them. Mm-hmm. So no, they basically sent them out.
Don't hold it on there too long. We'll get censored.
No, it won't. It's cut up.
No, it doesn't matter. They're stingy.
With nipples and everything. So that was kind of crazy. So I heard someone's going to get fired because of that. So I actually have met Elvira before one time at the World of Wheels. She was in town one time. So that was kind of cool. And then also too, when I was reading it, again, like you said, I get lots of the covers. I always get one of the cosplay covers, right, where people are dressing up. And I always thought, or not always thought, but I thought this one was a little weird. Like, why do they have her as Asian? And I'm not saying you can't have Asian Betty Page or whatever, but it just made me wonder why she was Asian.
It doesn't really even look like a cosplay.
Right.
That's just someone in lingerie.
No, but that is her with the wig, and that's Betty Page style. That's that cut. That's called the Betty Page style. But
a little bit of a reach.
No, I'm not. That's what it is. I know.
No, that.
No, this is the author.
Oh.
This is the lady who writes the story.
Interesting.
So she did her own cosplay cover. So that's kind of too. Her name is Annie Mai, and the art was by Sealor. But yeah.
Does that mean we can expect you on the cover of a book sometime then?
I don't look that good.
Okay, well I'm glad we got that out of the way.
Yeah, but that's kind of cool. So I like, not only does she write a nice good story in there, she looks good posing for it. She's ready to go back it up all the way. And speaking of sexy cover stuff, we always like Mirka and Dolpho's Sweet Paprika number 8 or 9 came out this week. I haven't read it yet. But they announced that she's going to do a signing and sketchbook for CGC. So I'm going to send a couple in there because I love her stuff.
Rather than sending in a couple, you should just send one in and get sketch done.
It's like over $500.
You're going to spend that much on sending stuff in anyway, just for signatures.
Wasn't planning on spending that much. They're only $75. I was only going to send like 1 or 2.
Oh, that's surprising.
I know. I'm trying to cut back. You know that.
Okay.
Adam wants to be on the cover of a book.
Oh, there. We can do a NatDaddy new fireman calendar.
That's a new trend. That's a new trend for sure.
I lost where I was. It's here somewhere.
Oh, there's Broken Eye.
Broken Eye, yeah. I'm just looking for my banner. There we are.
This one actually came out.
Comics.
It actually came out. Oh no, it came out today, the 9th. Yeah. I was gonna say
this is the first week in a while I haven't had to go digging for anything.
Scout, yeah, because they're usually behind.
Well, just anything. Everything was this week. There was no future books or past books.
Nope. Well, the past book would have been that SpiderMan one, but I forgot.
Yeah.
So what this one is, it's done by 2 brothers. It's Martin Excabaria and Xavier Excabaria. And then the art is by Anake Avarianas. And it's a neat story. What it is
you can't say regular words, but you get a whole accent on when you pronounce. We're like in the mirror pronouncing those.
No, I when I have my clients at work, I work with a large selection of people who don't have just regular names. So I'm used to pronouncing that.
I was just surprised. You have a hard time saying like Lazarus and like very basic things, but
this afternoon
or omnibus. But then that getting your like R's rolled there.
This afternoon I couldn't even say the name John Dixon. I said John Dexter. I was just like, sorry, but yeah, you're right. It's funny. So what's going on here? This book takes place in Ireland in the 70s, which was a very scary time. You know, a lot of war stuff, not war stuff going on, but the IRA, you know, civil terrorism and all that. So what it is the guy on the cover there is Seamus, and I don't know if you can tell looking at the cover there, but he's got 2 colored eyes. The one eye there, the blue one, is kind of scarred and is blue. What it is he's a garbage man, and he's while he's out, delivering and picking up garbage one day, he finds a severed hand, and it ends up this severed hand is attached to some kind of IRA gun meeting thing and that, so that he gets involved with that. But so he's an orphan. He does this, and what happens, and it's called Broken Eye because at the end of the book you find out that when he's like, he goes kind of into trances once in the book, and it looks like his eyes are glowing and that, but what it is he can see into the past. That's what the broken eye is. Somehow that eye that makes him see into the past. So you figure out that when he picked up this hand, he saw what happened to the dude in that. So now he knows what's going on. And like I said, the IRA is involved, so he's going to get probably chased down on that. So really intriguing story so far. Like I really thought it was kind of neat. So we'll see where it goes from there. So I was happy it turned out good because I was looking forward to that.
I'm just now noticing the hand is the outline on the cover there.
Oh, so did I. I didn't even notice that. Good eye.
They're actually pretty broken. I do need to get checked for glasses.
I need them. I haven't had it for 2 years because I lost them. So
that's why getting old, getting glasses and losing them and forgetting where they were.
Yeah, that's why I when I'm texting people and sending messages and that, it looks like I'm not even speaking English half the time.
Can confirm.
Yeah, I know you can.
Next up is the book that we keep talking about, the one that we've been mentioning forever.
Do you have a picture of Mike's cover and Hugh's covers?
I pulled them up now.
Okay, cool, thanks. Yeah, so what I've been saying is Ablaze 2 has been doing this for a few arcs now. They've had a few volumes for this called the Sumerian, and each one is covers the Robert E. Howard's books, almost like word for word. Not word for word because it's you can't have that drawn out, but the whole story being told in graphic format. And what's neat about this is that they have the story, like the art of the comic, and then at the end of each issue here, and this has been going on throughout all the series, is they have the actual books themselves all written out too. So you get actually the comic and the actual original artwork as well. So they don't have it up there. I checked. You have to go to the Big Country one.
Yeah.
So what it is Hour of the Dragon. And what it entitles is Conan's the king. He has this kingdom, and they support him wholly. And what it is these three other leaders who are afraid that he's going to overtake them and all that. They kind of form an alliance, and they bring back this dragon god, demon type of thing. And when Tyler pulls up the cover, you'll see this guy. And what that thing that he's inside there, which I thought was like a crystal or something, that's actually the dragon heart, which brings this guy to life. So now he's tormenting and going to kill Conan and bring destruction to his kingdom and make him suffer before he kills him, by torturing him and humiliating him and stuff like that. So if anyone's familiar with Conan, you would be know these stories. But awesome artwork. True to the Robert E. Howard's version of Conan, so swearing, sex, violence, blood. There's nothing wrong with the Marvel Conan, especially the older stuff like you were talking about, the Savage in the old days, but the original versions. But this one here is even truer because it's not held back by those Marvel standards. So yeah, great. I loved it.
All right, here's the covers here. I just pulled up Big Country's website.
Yeah. That's Hugh's cover.
This is the one from Hugh Rookwood, yeah.
Yeah. Awesome cover, yeah.
And this one I'd seen before.
I've seen that one before too.
But I hadn't seen...
You hadn't seen Mike's one?
I hadn't seen Mike's yet.
That one I've seen lots of times. And that's what I was saying too. He's inside the heart of the dragon there, which I thought was some kind of crystal before I read it. And that's he has this crazy long name, this sorcerer dude there. And he's from, the Serpent Kingdom.
Hero Uncensored.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So yeah those are great.
So they even have their prices there too.
Yeah, everybody check those out.
I did see they have sets for $40.
Yeah.
So that's actually a really good price.
Oh,
for a set of 2.
Oh, for sure. And I believe they even had some signed stuff in that too, but you have to look around the site probably.
Yeah, it's their options that they give you under their tabs here.
Yeah, for sure.
When you click on it.
That's cool. And that's Hugh's Radiant Red there as well too.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Whoops, that's not. Oh yeah,
that's another one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another one. Yeah, that's Big Country's website.
Cool.
I have that up here now. Where are we? There we are. All right, on to IDW.
Killlock. The Artesian Wraith. Or some people would say Wraith, but I say it's Wraith. This is a continuation from the original story Killlock, which was an awesome book last year. I know it was like one of the most critically acclaimed book last year. And anybody who's not familiar with it, I'll give you a little quick recap because it pretty much picks up right after that.
Yep.
The Killlock, what that means is this whole book is about a society of robots, like a universe of robots, really. And what it is the Killlock is like a death sentence if you're a criminal. So what happens is these 4 robots get the Killlock treatment. And what that means is they all get joined, not joined physically together, but they get joined like, I guess almost like lifelike together. And they have to travel together. They can't get separated or anything like that. If they get separated or if one of them dies, then they all die. So that's kind of like their judgment type of thing. That's what they have to their punishment.
Yep.
So what they figured out at the end of this last book is that way to figure out how to beat that, kind of get loophole wise, is they managed to merge all their personalities and that into one robot. And so now this robot became like a super all powerful robot.
We are Legion.
Yeah, type of thing. And now that he's ultra powerful, and the 4 of them combined are as ultra powerful, and he has like his powerful kingdom in that, and that's how it ended. So now what's going on in this one is there's 2 assassins, and that's the 2 on the cover there. They've been sent out by the hierarchy, the imperial people, the ones that rule the world, and they don't like this idea that other one's got away with it, right? And now he's getting so powerful. So these 2 assassins have been sent out to deal with that type of thing. So again, it continues on. It's has some dark comedy in there, has some robot violence in there, has some foul language. It's almost like if Tarantino did a robot movie. Some of it, dialogue-wise and that. So if anyone liked the original Killlock series, pick this up. It's awesome. I really liked it. And if you're not familiar with the Killlock series, even just pick this up as well too, because like I said, it does do an awesome recap. Probably a little bit more than I did.
IDW needs the help.
Pick and this is and that's what I was going to say too. This is an IDW property, so this is something that they should be trying to put behind more.
Yeah.
So. And this would be an awesome movie or streaming series, and it was really popular. Like people liked it, and it was critically acclaimed. So we'll see. Hopefully.
Next up, from Image Comics, up and coming. I don't think too many people have actually read any of their stuff.
Or the creators there, Jeff Lemire and Dustin Nguyen. You know those up and comers.
Yeah. I don't think so. I don't think I've heard of them.
I was talking with Ashley today about this book, Little Monsters.
Yeah.
And I said to him I was very excited to read it, because we like Jeff Lemire and Dustin Nguyen, and especially when they team up together, that's always a winning combination.
Has Lemire done the cover for this one?
There is a Lemire cover for this.
Yeah.
This one is the Dustin Nguyen cover.
Yeah.
So he does this cover and the internal art. But Ashley is telling me that he ordered 30 copies and not one of them even made it to the shelf.
Wow.
Because I said, oh, I hope that's because local people watch the NatDaddy's show and know how good all the Jeff Lemire books are. So he just kind of laughed. But I mean, I really would hope that would be the reason, and some more people would be picking it up.
I'm sure you would hope that. Yeah.
No, I'm saying I really would like that to be the reason.
I know you would.
But even if it was just one or two people. But Jeff Lemire is awesome, and this book is exactly what the solicitation says and what you can kind of get from the cover there. It's the end of the world. We don't really know the date. Everyone's dead. It's kind of like I Am Legend there, where the cities are all empty and everything, and you have this group of kids, and they're all different ages. You see them on the cover there. And this book is done in black and white, but it doesn't take away from the story. It kind of adds to it. Because these kids are out at night, they're goofing around, they're playing like tag, and they're, some of them are just sitting around, chilling, and playing guitar, and other people are looking for stuff, and so there's all kinds of just, kid stuff. And then you can kind of see up in the sky that, the sun's getting lower and that, and we should probably head home, it's getting late and that. But then you start noticing things like these kids are like doing things like the two twins up in the corner there, they're doing things like jumping off a building. And then just standing up and my legs busted, ha ha ha, that was so funny. And, it's gonna take all day to heal, type of thing. So you start realizing that these kids are vampires, and then they start picking up rats and draining blood and that. So they're vampires. So they're left after, something wiped out everybody else, but they're still kids. So neat story there.
Lost Boys.
Kind of like Lost Boys, but a little bit younger in that, and we'll see where it goes. So I mean, a simple premise so far. But we know with Lemire how simple premises change real fast, like with May's book and Descender and all that stuff.
May's book was never simple.
I know.
May's book started off pretty good.
Yeah, it did. Well, what I was saying about the black and white is because then you realize later on that it's not daytime, it's nighttime, and they got to get back before the sun comes up. So you're thinking it's kids playing out in the day, but then you realize they're vampires, and that, and you realize, this is actually taking place at night. But that's how it's in black and white. So that's kind of cool too. That was a really neat aspect there.
Yep. Next up, we've got, I believe, is a one-shot.
No, it's not.
Is it not?
It's not a one-shot.
Oh, see, I thought this one was a one-shot.
I thought it was a one-shot.
Okay, so that's Red Room trigger warnings.
Yeah. This one, much like all the other Red Room stuff, is even having the cover on here is kind of risky because they are so graphic. Some people actually consider them pornographic. There is like sex stuff in there, but it's just it's snuff stuff. Like the torture. What it is this group that they have like a.
It's pretty surprising that it's actually like a mainstream comic too.
It's liked by mainstream people. It's not a mainstream comic. It's still not even a big company. It's Fantagraphics. It just happened to have really taken off. What it is it's the second arc. Red Room it's dark web, paper, streaming kind of torture room stuff. And they all have different characters that do their own thing. And that's what's going on here. It's just some more character stories, more development of the ongoing series. Awesome artwork. No matter what you think about this book, it's awesome artwork. Ed Pisker there does creepy, super detailed work, like makes you think of like the original old horror stuff, but even just demented stuff in here. I like reading it because it is so. The artwork is so good in there. It is such graphic stories being told, but even some of the artwork in there does disturb me a little bit too, though. But yeah, I think
really,
yeah, really, it's pretty graphic and like yeah, but yeah, it's good though. It's really it's on the far end of like almost disturbing, like a Saw movie or something like that. Well, because that's what it is. It's the same exact same stuff.
Yeah,
but it's they're good stories. So it's meant to disturb you, and it does. So that's art. But we got one more book, right? Or it's actually two books.
It's actually 2 books. It's one story.
Yeah.
Literally one story, not one long story, but one single story.
One event told by 2 different views.
Yeah.
And I thought when it was black and white, it was going to be like good view and evil view, but it's not quite like that. It's black and white like versions of a story, but it's not evil versus good story. Yeah.
So start with black.
Black one is they're both done by the Miranda brothers. Everyone loves the Miranda brothers because this book is getting a ton of attention.
Yep.
Again, Big Country has a cover for it. That was Sean Hill's cover. It was very awesome. What's going on here is it's 6 years. I believe it's 6 years or 5 years. 6 years after the end of the last book. And at the end of the last book, it was kind of a happier ending. The Palladians there, the ones on the white cover there, came and saved everybody. They're like these super powered, almost like gods in that. And they managed to fight off all the monsters. What this world is, it's a world where they have these mega cities, but surrounding the mega cities is like nature, but nature in here is full of monsters. They're kind of like monsters and like mutated machine monsters and that. Kind of scary stuff. So they managed to defeat them, I guess, last time. Put up like a protective dome to protect these cities and that. Well, now it's 6 years later, and it says in the solicitations even, nothing stays the same. So over those 6 years, the nature has fought back again. They've taken over some of these places, and other places are about to fall. So it picks up there, and the black version of the book and the white version of the book, again, it's just 2 different stories about how people are dealing with this now, how they're about to try to do these crazy missions to just try and save people. It's almost to the point like it's do or die. And then it's going to lead into the next We Live. Like there's going to be another arc there. So it's kind of like 2 one-shots. Great stories, great artwork. Each of these white and black covers actually fold open like double, so that folds out to like 8-page fold out, those covers. And every page in there is artwork is just amazing. So yes, check it out, anyone who wants it. I know these books always sell out fast because everybody loves them.
Yeah.
They've been optioned from a long time ago in that too. I'm a fan of this, not just because of the being Aftershock and that. This was one of the first books that I read when I started reading Aftershock stuff, and even that blew me away instantly because the art. I have several covers from that first run. Before it got big even. So.
Yep.
That's it for books, I believe, right?
That's it for books, yeah.
Cool.
On to news.
Okay.
So we'll touch on Batman last because there may be spoilers and stuff. So if anyone doesn't want to hear spoilers, because it's only been a week, we're not going to touch on that until the very, very end. So we'll go through everything else first. But in staying with some DC news, DC's changed their film slate. A bunch of movies were pushed back. One was actually pulled way forward.
Which is weird because when we went to the movie the other night there,
they were just showing them off.
Yeah, they had all these movies in there, and they were like doing that like a more updated of that mini trailer they put out. We saw quite a bit of footage of the Black Adam the other night. Yeah,
so Black Adam was supposed to come out July 29th. Now it's been pushed back to October 21st.
That's a big
replaced by DC's Super Pets.
That's a big loss.
Yeah. So that's coming out in the fall.
That Black Adam had to be a summer movie, man.
But it coming out now at the end of October. And they pushed forward the Shazam movie from last year, or next year rather.
Yeah.
And they pushed it forward to December 12th of this year.
I wonder if they did that thinking they think that the Shazam movie might not be that good, and they need to have that Black Adam to bring it
I
in.
do wonder if there's going to be something to do with Black Adam in it now.
Oh, there already is. They've confirmed all that. There's supposed to be a Black Adam versus Superman versus Captain Marvel fight.
They had said before that the Shazam movies weren't going to cross over with him until he was a well-established character.
Well, then maybe they've changed it now.
It could be. I do think it's an interesting choice because Flash and Aquaman were both meant to come out this year the whole time, and Shazam was way later down the road.
I'm still not even really caring about the Flash movie. I just want to see Batman in there now, but I don't even care.
You and everybody else.
Yeah. Like I don't even.
Really care. Of the reasoning people are thinking is because those are two heavy hitters, Aquaman and Flash, and Shazam. Not that it isn't.
No.
But the hype behind Flash is something akin to Multiverse of Madness.
Black Adam's going to be bigger than all of them. Well, maybe not Flash because the whole, Michael Keaton stuff.
And Aquaman Black Adam is going to be a huge movie. Yeah. So because of this new merger that's going on, I don't know what exactly is going on. Apparently, there's some huge merger happening that is, or they're being bought out or something.
I saw they're selling off stuff.
So they're thinking that is a huge reason.
Could be.
So
I can tell you this right now.
Later.
That all these movies are huge. Like Batman's huge, and that Aquaman and Flash would be huge. But it would not surprise me if the Black Adam is like the biggest DC movie of all time because of The Rock. The Rock has that drawing power. He does. He does. Cool. What's this? Why do we have that SheHulk thermos? What's that?
Yeah, well, that's something I had seen a little bit just before the show.
Okay.
Interesting. We have our first look at SheHulk.
We'll get rid of the DC thing.
I am.
Okay.
We have our first look at SheHulk from a thermos.
Oh, it's like when the Funkos leak stuff in that.
Exactly. So, I mean, no
that
surprise.
That just looks like a drawing, though.
Well, it's not actual first look. It's not official.
That looks like concept art.
And it is.
Yeah, that's cool.
But it's the closest look that anyone's had yet, other than her shoulders and her biceps.
It looks like she's muscular, but she doesn't look like stupid muscular.
No, I think she looks like a really good Jen Walters.
I think she does. Oh yeah, she looks like that, but she just looks like. I mean, she looks strong, but she doesn't look like ridiculous.
It's hard to make a character like SheHulk, who's supposed to be this sort of sex icon in the Marvel universe, look really good without looking totally just shredded.
I know, but
they have a good balance from what I've seen here and some of the other stuff, other leaks.
I'm wondering here, I know that's not true, but they could have just used a body double for this then, and just did her face CGI over there because
it's probably largely
because that's not that big of a.
No, she's huge. She's still 8-9 feet tall.
I know, I understand that, but I'm just saying I'm not saying a 9-foot body double. Like that Jade Cargill girl from AEW. That's like that built.
Another thing that I didn't get a chance to get up here, there was a little interview they did for Moon Knight with Oscar Isaacs and the director, just talking about what it is, showing off a little bit more footage, see a little bit more Khonshu, this and that.
I'm so glad the Khonshu stuff's in there.
They're saying that it's going to be very Fight Club, very Indiana Jones, and so nothing huge.
Supernatural.
But,
I knew that. I told you to
very,
know that.
Very occult. Yeah. Again, not any huge news there. It is coming out at the end of this month, so they are ramping up their ad campaign for it and everything. So that is something coming.
Tuesdays, all the Netflix content goes on Disney Plus. You got your Punishers. You got your Daredevil. Yeah. Your Daredevil series seasons. Your Punisher seasons. Your Iron Fist and Luke Cage series and Alias. Or sorry, not Alias. Jessica Jones.
Yeah.
Alias.
Adam's asking if we'd rather see Sensational She-Hulk or World War She-Hulk. I would probably just rather see a Sensational because I don't like the Immortal She-Hulk and I don't like the World War She-Hulk storylines. It just seems to be a bit more tacked on. Like when they do Civil War 2 and they did Secret Wars again.
Or Spider-Verse. To me it's like
I like to see it when the character gets their own story.
I don't mind seeing She-Hulk being serious, but I don't mind her doing the breaking the fourth wall stuff a little bit.
They do say that this show is going to have that.
I know that. That's what I'm saying. I like Savage She-Hulk. If she's Savage She-Hulk, and not Savage not monstrous. I mean Savage the original Volume 1.
I know what you mean. Yeah. So, yeah, we got our first look at ObiWan this week.
He looks young in this cover compared to the trailer I watched.
You know, I think he looks pretty haggard here. And I didn't think he looked very, like, real. This looks like a very touched-up photo. It looks really weird.
Yeah, it is touched up, totally.
But ObiWan is, you know, he's my Luke Skywalker, right?
Yeah.
Like, everyone around your age had seen Star Wars the first time.
No.
You guys all had, like, Han Solo.
No, you're right. You're right. Luke Skywalker is cool, but I've always liked Obi-Wan. And now that, you know, ever since Obi-Wan was Ian McGregor, I've always thought he's my favorite character, to be honest.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I like the idea of OG-type She-Hulk. Me too.
Mm-hmm. So... yeah, so seeing this picture was neat, and then they dropped a couple stills, like, oh, that's cool. And then hours later, they dropped a trailer, which I don't know why they didn't do it all at the same time. It was surprising.
When something like that happens, it's usually because they're trying to circumvent something or trying to beat somebody. Or
that was like huge. And I mean,
awesome
I don't get like, you know, welled up or emotional, but like when we saw SpiderMan there, like that's, you know, something huge from my childhood, seeing all of them. And then seeing this character come back after what, almost 20 years? When was it Revenge of the Sith? Like 2005?
Oh yeah, for sure.
So that is just, it was just crazy, and just see him back in that Obi-Wan role.
Adam said earlier he's got a book. Adam, what book are you talking about? Let me know what you're talking about.
Switch over.
It sounds like Adam's a creator, maybe.
So then we got our first look at a character from Star Wars Rebels and from some of the Star Wars comics who are going to be in it, which is the Grand Inquisitor. The top picture there is what he looks like, which he's not meant to be human, and I really hope they're doing more work. The lower picture is...
cool, thanks, Adam.
The lower picture is what someone's edited to make it look like more like him, because this is what he does look like. So he looks a little different.
The top one looks like
he looks like
a Cenobite. Yeah. He's just a different Cenobite.
So, and I don't complain about stuff. I'm just happy to get more, like, you know, films, more shows. So I don't complain too much. And this is really my only gripe I've had is this guy. He at least elongate his face at the very least. You know,
it's kind of elongated. The second picture.
That second picture is an edited one.
Oh, okay.
That's what someone's done to make it look more like the picture there from Rebels.
Okay. Awesome, man. You send us a copy one of something, and we'll send you a copy of what we got of number one of stuff, because we got a few number ones, and we still not allowed to mention nothing yet, but we for sure have one coming out, and maybe, almost maybe two.
Nope. Let's see what happens about that. We'll see how it goes.
I've submitted the paperwork for all number two, you know, the second one.
Oh, that's all up to you.
I know.
And then... now we'll talk about Batman. Again, not huge spoilers for it, but it is...
you can't spoil this movie, because it's all the characters are in there. It's just what happens in the movie. But this movie was tremendous.
There's loads of spoilers, though.
I guess there is. But
it's like going into Inception. There's no spoilers for it, but when you find out certain plot details, that totally unravels the story.
I'm not going to be going into plot details. I'm just going to be like, this movie I thought was awesome.
It was incredible.
I thought everybody portrayed their characters very well. I knew there was going to be obviously some huge differences that we hadn't seen before. Seeing this type of Bruce Wayne, and we've seen younger versions of Bruce Wayne, but this Bruce Wayne was like so disturbing, because he's so like melancholy, like Robert Pattinson. Like, I never watched any of those. I won't say stupid. I never watched any of those Twilight movies. Yeah. But you know, he's so like broody in this movie, and it suits the role perfectly. There's lots.
Everyone is perfectly cast.
Yeah.
There's not one person I would have put another role in.
There's a lot of Batman in this, but it's not like he's constantly.
You're shaking the table.
Oh, sorry. He's not constantly like fighting villains, and when he does fight villain or bad guys, it stands out. Like great scenes, like in the Daredevil series when he's fighting in the hallways and stuff.
I preferred this, and this is probably my all-time favorite. He was in Harry Potter. That's right.
Yeah, I know.
All-time favorite Batman movie, up there with Mask of the Phantasm.
It was very good.
I think it's a little bit funny because now we've gotten such a realistic Batman and such like this is probably the new gold standard for Batman.
It's pretty good.
It's sort of how the Tim Burton Batman films brought Batman to a new level, made the 66 show just look ridiculous.
Yeah.
I think this film has made the Burton ones look a little bit more ridiculous,
Well,
they're now akin to the 66 show.
Well, that's what it was supposed to be back then too, but it's starting to get darker. But what's nice about this, like you said, like Robert Pattinson is awesome. I always forget his name. I know you know his name, the guy that played Riddler.
Paul Dano.
Yeah, he was amazing in here
creepy.
too.
Oh my God.
I think everyone in this movie could be up for an award, like a supporting award or a supporting actress award.
Zoe Kravitz
was really
phenomenal.
Good.
This isn't even her first time playing Catwoman, actually. She was the Catwoman in the Lego Batman movie.
I heard that actually too, and I've seen her in other movies. Like she was in one of the X-Men movies.
Colin Farrell as Penguin.
Yes, exactly.
I cannot wait for that show now.
That's what I was gonna say too. As much as I enjoyed all this movie, it was. I really enjoyed it, but every time I think about this movie, I cannot stop thinking of Colin Farrell as Penguin.
The makeup department must win some kind of award.
He's got, as I was saying,
like Gary Oldman in that movie where he was all done up. I forget
Dracula. He was always in crazy, like lots of movies.
Oh, I'm trying to.
But it is amazing in him. I didn't like Colin Farrell's a good actor. But when you see guys in makeup and stuff like that, you can still tell it's him, you know.
Oh, yeah.
But in here, you have no idea it's him. He doesn't even sound like him. He sounds totally like some New Jersey, soprano guy, and not even like like fake accent. Like it just sounds so legit.
Yeah.
I hope that, and same with Riddler too. I hope that these guys get nominated for a supporting actor role because it is that good. It is not a superhero movie. This is a suspense thriller murder. It's like
thriller,
like your Silence of the Lambs,
like the Zodiac movie.
Killer, yeah. It's that type of movie. Everyone did an awesome job. Like Tyler said, there was already rumblings of like some kind of sequel in the works, not even just for this, but like some of the characters, and they confirmed it, I believe, yesterday. HBO Max
officially,
straight to streaming TV, straight to their streaming service series for Colin Farrell. I think it's probably going to be a little bit of a recap, like how he became Penguin.
I think it'll be a little bit Book of Boba Fett-y, reflecting
and
on
him going forward, because at the end of this movie...
It's supposed to be his come-up story, they said. Yeah. It's going to be very much like Scarface, from his top to bottom.
Yeah, and you're right, it's a detective flick. Yeah. It's totally that. So it's good.
This movie it's just great. The way it starts off with him narrating, right? Robert Pattinson. It doesn't just start off that way. There's an intro bit, but it is Robert Pattinson narrating, just like Batman would, writing in journals, and you see him writing in journals throughout.
Yeah,
and just seeing that it's his second year. All the criminals are terrified of him.
Yeah,
and we're waiting just as eagerly as the criminals are to see him lurking out of the shadows.
Yeah, and
the way they build that, the fear.
Yeah, and you can see throughout this whole movie too that he hasn't come to terms with like wanting to help people and still be
it's his crusade.
Yeah, he doesn't care about anything else. He just wants to do this. He doesn't care about getting hurt or dying and that. So it's really cool. It's neat seeing him work with the cops. The cops kind of let him work with them, but everybody kind of hates it at the same time. So that was a neat perspective that I did not expect at all. And even though I've read the Long Halloween, I'd forgotten about that.
It's Long Halloween and Earth One mixed together.
That's
really
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Let's not talk about it anymore because that's too much talking about it.
No, Earth One is a very down to earth where Batman gets the shit kicked out of him.
No, I'm saying it's too much to talk about the movie. I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Oh well, we got filler time anyway.
No, we don't.
Sure we do. Yeah, I think that's pretty well it. There's just so many small, subtle things. Nothing done in that movie is by accident.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's something like Inception or Interstellar. Like every little detail is plotted out. It's and a 3-hour movie. It's long, but it doesn't always feel long.
No,
and it's not always action, and it's not always detective work. There's so much.
I never even had to go to the bathroom.
No, actually, it was surprising. And even just the movie builds up, and you get to that Batmobile chase scene, and that is one of the best Batmobile chase scenes I think in anything.
That vehicle is pretty awesome. That vehicle is pretty awesome.
Amazing. Just the sounds it makes. It sounds like a monster truck.
Yeah, it does. I think that must be like a jet engine or something. It's pretty cool. And we built that, or you built that vehicle earlier this week. So. Yeah, so that was a good movie. Recap wise, it was a busy week. A very, very busy week. I managed to squeeze in an interview today all by myself without, well, Tyler gave me a little bit of help. I did it all by myself, and I'm going to try and finish it up tonight. Yeah, like I said, stick around. We got new Nat Daddy announcements coming up hopefully pretty soon. We're supposed to be announcing them in March sometime as a press release date for the first one. So we'll see.
As soon as we hear.
I did hear something back from them this afternoon. I just haven't had a chance to respond. And so that's kind of cool. Check out the tag show on Friday night. I'm going to throw up a couple posts tomorrow on all our sites. Our first appearance Fridays and stuff like that. I got a neat one that came in this week. Yeah, everything's pretty awesome right now, guys. Winter is still going on. It's minus 28 and it's snow and blizzard again. I didn't tell you that when I came downstairs here. Yeah. But yay, March 9th.
10th.
10th? Yeah, 10th. So, everybody awesome. Oh, yeah, my interview, I was going to mention that too. It was with, his name is John Dixon.
John Dexter.
Dexter? No, not Dexter. Dixon. Sorry, I screwed up his name now.
Dexter, isn't it?
I'll have to check Dexter. But I did an interview with him this afternoon. He has a book on Kickstarter right now called Alpha Dogs #2. It's a neat story. I don't want to go too much into it. I want you to check out the interview, but it's pretty cool. The Kickstarter is up until the end of the month. On the interview, we're going to have all those links in that to it, so check it out. Yeah, everything else is cool. If anybody's watching is a creator, and that let us know, because we want to build people as much as possible. Apparently, Adam's got some stuff here. We're going to check that out. So, yeah, awesome. Everybody else is cool. And you got anything to say?
Yep.
Awesome.
I'm going to bed. I got work tonight.
Yeah, awesome. All right, bye. We'll see you later.
See ya.